heaven, turn to hell, I gotta stay alive. Lord have mercy on my soul, stand by my side. I killed the old man and I watched him die. Lost a couple niggas, guess he wasn't my round. Hey, play my niggas, lay you down, they all down the ride. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. I gotta stay alive. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. Tell me we don't live in hell. My brother doing 55 in that cell. Nigga claiming he your round here spit shell. Same nigga you put on to hit the stand and tell. How the fuck you turn your back on a nigga that love you? Treat your kids like my kids, treat you like a brother. I told my dog, let's leave the streets to serve the Most High. He said, fuck that shit, he trying to sell another pie. His daddy killed him, put him in the trunk, set him on fire. His wife was pregnant, he ain't never get to see his child. Had me thinking to myself, what happened if I die? Look my babies in the eyes, I gotta stay alive. I put my ego on the shelf and my pride to the side. I'm with some niggas who gon' step and got God on their side. Got in the ISUPK, they keep asking me why. As I do the work of the Lord, I gotta stay alive. Face the east, pray alive. I seen heaven turn to hell, I gotta stay alive. Lord have mercy on my soul, stand by my side. I killed the old man and I watched him die. Lost a couple niggas, guess he wasn't my round. They play my niggas, lay you down, they all down the ride. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. I gotta stay alive. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive.
You ever pump a pack with a snake by your side? Yes, I see a man reach out to God before he died. Yes, I did. I know the Lord forgive us for these sins, but I'm starting to think the kingdom of heaven is for these kids. I told my daughter, there's one man in your bed, I won't stand for left. For my son, I hit your head on that fragile legs. I lost some niggas to that dope, I lost niggas to the feds. Remember Jono tried to stick me for that cheese on that bread, yeah, I was thugging with Lucky, and that nigga left me for dead. Endured to the end, cause I listened to what was said. Mother told me she loved me when she was sick up in the bed. I was running them streets, but the truth made me a man. Shit, I don't really speak, cause she'll never understand. That's why I ain't even tell her about these voices in my head. I'm still trying to manage my anger like Uncle Craig.
I seen heaven turn to hell, I gotta stay alive. Lord have mercy on my soul, stand by my side. I killed the old man and I watched him die. Lost a couple niggas, guess he wasn't my round. They play my niggas, lay you down, they all down the ride. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. I gotta stay alive. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. Fuck what them bitches gotta say. I'm a woman with a nigga till they put me in the grave. I don't give a love fuck what them niggas gotta say. I'm a woman with a nigga till they put me in the grave. I don't care about what they say. Hey. Fuck with my Akima, fuck with my sisters, then I got a problem, I'm never gonna miss you. I got 100 hanging out the AR, I got a 50 hanging out the pistol. He say it's corner, I'm just being realistic. I be on them corner posted with the realest. If it's the Sabbath, then we going fishing. I'm reeling them in, that's a God-given mission. I'm really on 10, but I'm strapped in the pistol. I get the order, be glad of this mission. Hebrew Academy graduate, nigga. Training, go through the baddest conditions. I fuck with none but the baddest of bitches. She righteous, submissive, she glad to be with me. Had that thing Putin like that, man, niggas. She know I'm a prophet, she gotta be listening. Disrespect, I ain't having that shit. Tell her go make some business from scratch. She bitching the different breed of black men. We don't do the bad thing. I remember back when I was really trapping, trying to get the racks in, selling dope to black men. But now I'm trying to make it straight. Like, forget about my face. We standing up straight, can't fold us. Too heavy, the world won't hold us. Go get some rank, I told you. Line up in these ranks, we soldier. You can take that to the bank, we focus. How many times must we remind you? One body, one rest. One break, I would never take up as a place. When the law with you ain't no up next. It's just us, nigga, that's that on that. All that weak shit, that ain't no threat. Say you won't beat, bitch, with that ain't no sweat. We with all that. We with all that. The Lord called a nigga out the world. I responded and called back. Oh Lord. And everything that they stole from us, fuck that shit. We want all that. Them niggas snitching and they act like bitches. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They killing women and they fuck with sisters. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Come on the command and general, YAHANNA, we unaffiliated with them. Like they talk and they say they keep that shit 100, we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. We unaffiliated with them. I cannot fuck around with fake niggas. We taking ground when we in your city. You better hide the women, hide the liquor. Keep that bitch on me, please don't but the same. Don't be a fool and be another victim. Say you a goon, you just another Christian. How you my brother, you ain't in it with me. In the gutter, deep down in the trenches. We with them niggas locked up in the prison. Fucking Hispanic, Native American, Indian. We ain't just talking shit, but we living in it. We be everywhere, you can't miss it. And we be precious hell, take a picture. And we professional with the scriptures. Play, we gon' scratch them, yeah, we some killers. These niggas tripping, they mind blown. But really forgive me if I'm wrong. I don't get it pause when niggas say that they be looking for niggas to slide on the slide that I know about this when I assemble the group with the slide for real. I get the order, you know that it's slaughter. See me and my niggas gon' die for kill. The bigger the better for kingdom of heaven. You niggas get wet up by me cause I'm fed up. I rep UPK. My niggas won't let up. Got choppers, got nines, AKs, Berettas. You say you don't like me, you say you won't fight with what me and my nigga like, bitch, or whatever. You say you don't like me, you say you won't fight with what me and my nigga like. My nigga like them niggas snitching and they act like bitches. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They killing women and they fuck with sisters. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Come on the command and general, YAHANNA, we unaffiliated with them. Like they talk and they say they keep that shit 100, we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Yeah. See, they always ask us like, why y'all don't fuck with such and such? Why y'all won't come together with such and such? I be like, we unaffiliated with them. Understand me? Like, niggas be out here on some weirdo shit. And to be honest, that's why we unaffiliated with them. Hey, that's why we unaffiliated with them. Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Okay,
I've been in my Bible lately. You understand me? Like, shit crazy out here.
World said fuck us, so we said fuck the world.
You know,
the world said fuck us,
Matthew 24:13.
so we said fuck the world.
He that shit to the end.
The world said fuck us,
shall be
so we
saved.
said fuck the world.
Fuck the world.
The world don't love us, no. So we said fuck the world. Look, I know your kinfolk gone, but hold on. I know them lanes ain't on, but hold on. Look, even if you feel you got nothing to hold on, I got a message. God said hold on to your sanity. I know you in a position that you ain't planned to be. With our lives, we're not addicted to gambling. You feel the pressure and the thoughts in your head are scrambling. You feel the storm getting closer. You feel like giving up before you even start, then it's over. You feeling like fuck it, you going through too much to be sober. Life is passing you by as you do this over and over, over and over, over and over, over and over. Time to make a change now. Instead of that, you fall a victim to the same now. Starting to find out that this life is not a game now. Back against the wall, couldn't run as the poor man screamed to the top of his lungs. World said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world don't love us, so we said fuck the world.
For real.
Look, cover your eyes, don't wanna see the blood on the leaves. Bodies of eyes innocently hanging from trees, floating in screens, blood in the water, blood on the altar. Still don't believe justice is coming. Heavenly Father, did not Christ say vengeance is mine? don't even bother. When he return, it's gonna be slaughter. Ooh, I know you don't wanna face it, but what's real love sound like hatred. And you gotta be fucking crazy if you think they gonna get away with killing all them babies, feeding them to alligators. All the women that was raped, the transatlantic slave trade made us build a nation that we can't partake in. School to prison, pipeline, mass incarceration. All the lives that's been taken, hated to love it. You only talk about forgiveness cause we never get justice. I think you really reluctant. I remember hearing a hood nigga say all the shit he would've done if he was living during slavery. Look what's going on today, and you ain't doing a damn thing but putting shame on your ancestors' name. But who's to blame? All these drugs, pills, weed, beans, and lean and cocaine. I get the feeling that we living in a big dope game.
The world said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world said fuck us, so we said fuck the world. The world don't love us, so we said fuck the world.
You ain't no Israelite, but you a gospelite, bitch.
Fuck you talking about?
If that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, but he'll fade you line up. Young nigga named the Slayer. What you think? Well, you be done to try. Soft cold shit, we bout it. UPK, you solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood. Hood. More than you, bitch. Sharp on shit, I'm bout it. UPK, too solid. Fuck nigga don't want war. It ain't enough clips in your army. All the bitches wanna take my piece. All the hoes wanna take my piece. All the nigga wanna take my piece. No, I can't let a dog take it from me. I can't let a dog take it from me. You a hoe study and you dummy. And these bitches really out this bitch walking around like they don't know nothing. And a lame nigga fall for 'em and get set up for the coins and get gunned down, man down. Shoulda took the time, get a damn no. But I see the shorter and I show her. She could never get a police hoe. You a dirt ass, rust ass neck bitch with a fake ass jewelry. In Tennessee while I'm touring. It's a Tennessee, but she luring. And a sucker duck bitch ass boy, fuck nigga over that bit muggin'. I say, if that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, but he'll fade you line up. Young nigga named the Slayer. What you think? Well, you be done to try. Soft cold shit, we bout it. UPK, too solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood. Hood. More than you, bitch. You a lame nigga down to me. Eat candy, but I'm sucker free. You a little nigga, ain't none of me. Base up while I fit a beat. Yeah, AR 223. Draco with a magazine. Yeah, the clip run like limousine. I shoot your ass in the spleen. Boy, I bust your ass in the temple. We debating by the temple. Tell the truth, boy, you's a victim. You scoring them off like a lizard. Nigga walk down my road. Why does nigga come down my road? Boy, come down my road. Boy, I charge your ass toll fee. I'm a real big priest, nigga. UPK play for keys, nigga. Commander General get a damn order, but ain't nothing to me to damn kill you. I was talking his ass like a cat. All weapons, boys full of tech. Boy, like a close comeback. They got popped off for a neck. If that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, but he'll fade you line up. Young nigga named the Slayer. What you think? Well, you be done to try. Soft cold shit, we bout it. UPK, you solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood. Hood. More than you, bitch.
Christ said 7 women gonna be on one nigga in the end time. Nigga, fuck wrong with you, boy. Stressed by that damn hoe ass bitch. Fake ass nigga too. Dumb ass motherfucker. Fuck you.
Backstage.
West till they bury me. I'm I'm one West till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. One West till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. They ain't scaring me. Rip the soul out of Pharisee. Speaking heresy and get you fucked up apparently. It's like they daring me. I said chill, they ain't hearing me. They ain't listening. Every bar nitroglycerin. Hit your heart, bring it back to start, make you live again. Get them dividends so we start getting ignorant. I be on that soldier shit. I told you shit phenomenal. Nah, but he a domino. So what you sucker trying to do? Rhyming comical, guess it's funny until I'm bombing you. Bring apocalypse to them pussy niggas that's popping shit. Team of all-stars, I coach them up like I'm Popovich. Fuck the politics and the lobbyists and apologists. They vagina, so we gon' check them like gynecologists. It's kinda obvious how the situation is ominous. The way I vomit this and regurgitate for the audience. They start applauding this cause the competition is fraudulent. From the era where niggas smoke you up like a parliament. The flow been stupid, shit has gotten retarded since all the dominance of one West rising to prominent. Cause I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. They want a nigga quiet, mute my maneuvers, but I ride like I got group vibes for Uber. Rhymes hard like they've been viewed by Medusa. 9 milli Luger, 17 in the Ruger. Only need a few to sit up in your medulla. Obligata for the regatta, niggas wildin', they win every dollar. They riding by black Impalas, let the semi holler. A showstopper, been this proper since the teeny bopper. But now I'm going on my Patron, premium of vodka. I put extensions on the Glock, modify the chopper. The swore heavy, war ready, and that's working mama. No marijuana, say I got the loudest silence on it. When I'm up on it, ain't no rapper do it like I do it. A lot of spitties and writers, but when they eat on, none of them can get to the fire around with me. And I had them niggas spit like a tire, Dan the D. And I'm still dope as a piper. Every bar burn hard like a spoon with a lighter. Fuel igniter, I'm winning, coming through with the title because UPK. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me.
Yeah, on 44 shit, you know what I mean? Busy man. Look, when that shit drop, you step all the way on their next.
Shalom, Israel, with ISUPK coming out of 1 West Hall, New York, 125th Street, under Commander General YAHANNA. And since 1969, we've been bringing out the truth that so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the true children of the Bible, per the Bible. I'm your priest and officer, Yashala, holding down today's Elizabeth/history class, priest and officer 500 Adunya. Shout out to everybody in the chat so far. Young man Hector, of course, as usual. You know what I mean? Shout out to the sister in the chat. So, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Barakatah to the Akim, and Yahweh Shemal Ethem Bashem Yahweh to the Akwathium. If y'all got any questions, put them in the chat before I get started with my topic. You know, today's the history class. I'm going to be bringing out some good information today about Black history. And we're going to get into these scriptures. Let's see. Here we go. You know, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we've been hoodwinked and bamboozled for like the last 1,000 years. so to speak. Yeah, we was in captivity over here for over 400, but then we was in captivity in another foreign land for another 400 plus years. So I'll just say for the last 1,000 years we've been oppressed and stressed, and you know. Oh, that's good. You know, all throughout history, we've been used, abused, unalived, hung, used for child babies, used for gator bait, men being unalived and they're using our flesh for coats, shoes, handbags, and so forth, harvesting our DNA. You know, I had brought out in a previous class about Henrietta Lacks. To this day, her DNA is used for all types of various things in cosmetics, the medical industry. They harvest her cells. They say her cells, not her actual DNA. It's her DNA because the cells is in her DNA. And they've been synthesizing and multiplying and using it for all types of medical research, cures for stuff, just to keep it a secret because, you know, there's no money in the cure. The money is in the medicine. This is how pharmaceutical companies get paid. But, you know, even back in the day, things was just a little more affordable for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, right? Let's see. You know, back in the day, you look at the prices of stuff for back then and now, it's like, good night. Like, you just see a extravagantly bigger difference now from then. Slovakia. Like, prices for gas. There was a time where gas was like 10 cents a gallon, 5 cents a gallon. You know what I mean? We used to have penny candies in the store when we was a kid growing up, little bubble gums for 5 cents or a penny. You know what I mean? Nowadays, candy, the same penny candies, they like 50 cents to $1 now. It's like when you was a kid, you was winning when you went to the store as a kid with a hot dollar. Shoot, you had $5, you was good. I'm talking about good. You buying a sandwich, you buying a couple of juices for the day. You know what I'm saying? You buying some candy to hold you over, and you got more money to hold you down when you get out of school, and you got money for the cafeteria at lunchtime. That's what $5 will get you. $5 now, you ain't even barely getting a sandwich for $5. You know what? I'm lying. You could get a butter roll. You'll be able to get you a coffee and a butter roll in the morning for $5. A coffee, a butter roll, maybe some chips and a juice. It depends because everything's expensive nowadays. You know what I mean? Especially for Blacks and Hispanics, you know. I mean, inflation's up everywhere, but for the most part, you know, we're always charged more. I seen a scene in a movie where they was reenacting stuff how you know, Blacks was really being treated after integration. You know what I mean? You go in a little white supermarket, you try to buy stuff, you see the sale sign, but they tell you it's like 4 times that price. And then you buy it anyway and make them look stupid. Or you just walk up out of there like, I'd rather deal with my people. You know what I'm saying? But those are the atrocities and the struggles that we have to go through as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians back in the day. We'll pull up a brief demographic of how much stuff costed back in the day and how much it costs now. Now, if y'all look carefully, I don't know if I could. There we go. Now look at this. This is the cost of living in 1938. A brand new house in 1938 cost $3,900. Nowadays, people pay that for monthly rent. The average yearly income was $1,731 per year. You can't even live off that in a month. You could get that every month, and you can't even live off of that. A brand new car in 1938 was $860. Nowadays, you're spending no less than $30,000 for an average vehicle. You understand? And that's for an economy size vehicle. You're going to spend way more than that if you want a truck or an SUV. And if you do spend about 30, you're going to have to put money into it because it's not going to be the newest model. Now look at this right here. Average rent, $27 per month. The only way you pay that right now is if you want Section 8 and you're not working, or if you want fixed income and you're not working. You understand? Back in the day, tuition for Harvard University was $420. As a matter of fact, let me look up how much tuition for Harvard University is today. How much is tuition for Harvard University in 2025? This is a very big difference. Tuition for Harvard University per year in 1938 was $420 per year, right? Tuition for Harvard University in 2025 to 2026 is $59,320. Oh, let me pull out my calculator. I'm bringing this out for a reason, right? 59,320 minus 4. So the difference between 1938 and 2025 is $58,900. That's how much more tuition costs in today's time from 1938. A movie ticket was 25 cents. Good God. Now you lucky if you get a movie ticket for $20, and that don't even count the popcorn, the soda, and candy. That's even more. Good night. Gasoline was 10 cents per gallon. Now it's $3.03 a gallon, depending on which gas station you go to. This is what being in Esau's land. This is how much more they charge blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? It's atrocious with how they charge us as a people, right? Now let's look at the United States. A postal stamp was 3 cents. Do you know now a postage stamp is like almost $2 for one stamp? It's ridiculous. Now let's go to get to the nitty gritty. Food costs for a bag of sugar, for a 10-pound bag of sugar was 59 cents. For a 5-pound bag of sugar, let's say great value, I'm still paying $3 and some change for a 5-pound bag of great value sugar. Now, if I buy a bag of Domino sugar, I'm spending $5 plus for a 5-pound bag of Domino sugar. So for a 10-pound bag, you're spending $1 a pound plus tax. Back then, 10-pound bag of sugar was 59 cents. A gallon of whole milk. Ain't this something? 50 cents for a gallon. We spend $4 in some stores, almost $5 in others for a gallon of milk. A gallon of milk is like $4.50, $4.75 in some stores. For a pound of coffee, used to be 39 cents. I don't buy coffee, so I'm not sure how much it costs now, but I'm sure it's way more than 39 cents. I'm sure a can of coffee probably costs around about like $5-6. And I don't eat no pork bacon, but they say pork bacon was 32 cents a pound now. Back then, in 1938. Lord knows how much it costs now. I know for a package of beef bacon, it costs $7.18 in Walmart. So I know in a regular supermarket, you spend like $10, $11 for a regular size pack of beef bacon, unless you go to a supermarket and they slice it up for you. You know what I mean? That's the only way you get a deal. But that's just an example I was giving y'all for the cost of living from back then to now, from 1938 to now. Young man had to say, you ever shop at Whole Foods? Nah, I don't. He said, "I bought 7 items for the good night." That's ridiculous. And I know Whole Foods sell organic stuff. Like I bought something out of Whole Foods before, but I've never went shopping in there. That's ridiculous. I bought about maybe 15 or less items in Walmart and spent like $1.30. Like I wasn't even like food shopping. I was just like picking up a few things for the house and spent like $1.30. That's ridiculous. You know, man, Hector, that is atrocious what they be charging us in these stores, man. It's like seriously. I got some other little key things we learned for history as well, right? Now, some of this stuff you're gonna see other nations breaking it down or telling the story about it, but don't look at the messenger. Just pay attention to the message, right? Check it out.
Confederate colonel that got a saber wound in the Civil War, got addicted to morphine, and he's like, I got to cure my morphine. What was invented by a Confederate colonel that got a saber wound in the Civil War, got addicted to morphine, and he's like, I got to cure my morphine addiction. So he just mixed together caffeine, wine, and cocaine. He's like, I don't feel like doing morphine anymore because I can't feel my face. Starts producing it 6 months later. Fulton County in Atlanta is like, we're banning alcohol, so he has to switch over to carbonated water, but it tastes like shit, so he just adds a bunch of sugar instead. Sells it to a pharmacist, and the pharmacist is like, we're going to market this as soda. And in 1904, the U.S. government cracks down on cocaine. And the reason is mostly racism. They take the cocaine out and just add more sugar. And then World War II rolls around. Coca-Cola then comes around and is like, we're going to guarantee that any troop, no matter where he's at, can buy a cold Coca-Cola for 5 cents. They were losing money for every soda sold. In exchange, they turned around to the government and was like, what if we used government tax dollars to create 65 bottling plants all over the globe? And they did it. Hitler's favorite drink was Coca-Cola. So the German Coca-Cola guys were like, we're going to make our own soda. That's where Fanta comes from. Coca-Cola was invented.
You'd be surprised the stuff that you learn from history, right? Now, that was just a little brief breakdown of how Coca-Cola was invented, right? Now, you notice how it started out with a white man being hooked on morphine, found a way to get off morphine, and was mixing cocaine with a couple of other products with alcohol. But then they had the ban on alcohol back then during Prohibition. So he had to find another way. So he added caffeine and sugar inside of sparkling water. Well, we now have sparkling water or some type of tonic soda, right? Something with fizz, and just added a bunch of sugar and flavoring. And then comes Coca-Cola. You understand? You'd be surprised what we learn when we backtrack and do our research about history. You understand? And you got to understand. And the reason why I brought it up in this specific class, because you got to understand, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians drink Coca-Cola. So it's good to know what you're putting in your body. You understand? They used to put cocaine in Coca-Cola. You understand? Like really let that sink in. Think about where they got the name Coca-Cola from. You know? And to substitute the cocaine, once they wasn't allowed to put cocaine in it no more, they just put a bunch of sugar. So technically, it's not good for you. You understand? But back to that Whole Foods thing, that got me trouble. How you buy 7 items for $200? Good night. Like what? And I bet they were some simple ass items. Probably some organic food and some fruit and veggies. And they just wanted to charge you an arm and a damn leg. That's ridiculous, man. I can't believe it. Like, and I've been buying these eggs from Walmart for years now, right? Ever since they put a Walmart back there in my hood over in Bayonne, right? I go there, it was like a couple months ago when they jacked the prices up. Now, mind you, I only spent $8.26 on these eggs. They $22 now. I went there a couple weeks ago. They said 11 and some change on rollback. How is it on rollback for $11.26 when the price was $8.38? You see how they get you? Yeah, they savages out there. I'm telling you. Let me get to this next clip right now. Like I said, pay attention to the message, not the messenger.
George Washington had fake teeth from slaves that he owned. They pulled the teeth out of slaves and made him molars.
I thought his teeth were made of wood or something.
No, it's wood around it. That's wood holding it in place. The springs kept the teeth in his mouth. Fuck, that's evil. You want to know really dark shit? George Washington had fake teeth from slaves that he owned. They pulled the teeth out of slaves and made him molars.
I thought his teeth were made of wood or something.
No, it's wood around it. That's wood holding it in place. The springs kept the teeth in his mouth. Fuck, that's evil. You want to know?
I really want y'all to let that sink in, right? Really let that sink in. Please let that sink in. I need y'all to let that sink in, Israel. George Washington removed the teeth from slaves and made his bald ass mouth a set of molars from the teeth of his slaves. He would extract our teeth to make his grill. Give us the yuck mouth so he could have a smile. But they hated us so much that they whooped and tortured us. And as a matter of fact, where's that? Here we go. That scripture. Let's go to this one right here. Israel, the white man is the goddamn devil that the Bible speaks of. They are so freaking wicked, right? Let me tell you something. In the book of Psalms, chapter 9, verse 9, it says, "The Lord also will be a refuge for the oppressed and a refuge in times of trouble." You understand? If we knew who we were during slave times, and I'm talking about like before Nat Turner revolt and all of that, when he finally read the Bible and learned that it was us that the Bible was talking about, and he started teaching the slaves during that time, if we knew who we were and had our identity and served the Most High God, do you know that he would have helped us in our time of trouble? It would have been a way made for that white man to suffer, for them oppressors to suffer. You understand? Like, that is diabolical, to yank the teeth out of the mouth of healthy slaves just to make you upset because you lost your teeth. You wicked, disgusting piece of garbage. Hold on, Salaki. Young man Hector said, "Watch out for Dollar General too. They sell expired meat in there for what?" I did not know that. The water, young man Hector, because I do go to Dollar General once in a while. And I know people that go to Dollar General and Family Dollar. I'm going to make that known. I'm going to put that in the chat. Because sometimes we can't afford to go to Walmart. We got only reach the Dollar General. I'm going to let brothers know. I did not know that. The water to you, young man Hector. That's why I'm glad you're here. That is retarded. What? Or sometimes doing certain classes, certain topics, get your blood boiling. And this definitely got my blood boiling, but I promise you, this is ridiculous, yo. Now, if we go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 14, verse 31, right? It says, "He that oppresseth the poor reproach his maker, but he that honoreth him have mercy on the poor." Now, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we have mercy on the poor. You know, if not being in today's society, you know, some of our Sedidia folks won't toot their nose up at a brother eating at a garbage can, where another brother will walk up and hand him a hot coffee and a butter roll. We'll go in a 7-Eleven or a bodega and get a hot coffee and a butter roll for that brother, or a bottle of water and a banana, something. So he ain't got to eat off the germs off a nasty heathen after they threw their sandwich in what parts they ain't wanted their sandwich or slice of pizza or whatever was in that garbage. You understand? Like, we have to care for one another, and the oppressor don't give two sugar honey iced teas about us. That's why I say that he that oppresses the poor reproaches his maker. He reproaches the Most High God. They don't believe in the Most High God. They believe in Caesar Borgia, that white stringy haired piece of garbage that they prompt up as Jesus, and he's not. You understand? He was Leonardo da Vinci's lover. You understand? And he murdered people in his own family. He was a savage and a wicked piece of garbage. All those heathens are. You understand? You put them in a fight or flight situation and see which side they choose. I promise you. But yeah, George Washington was one of one of countless pieces of garbage. You understand? Let me get to this next article. Something positive about our folks.
Just looking back at the world from another level, you know what I mean? Staring. Multiple gunshots to the block, the fun stops. Niggas was calling cops, people shot, nobody stopped. I wonder when the world stopped. Cameron last night, 2 kids shot, while the whole block staring. I will never understand this society. But they try to murder me, then they lie to me. Product of a John Breed, oh my homie John Reed. They had a little baby's craze, raised on fantasy. Tell me when my enemies flee when they see me. Believe me, even thugs gotta learn to take it easy. Listen, through the intimacy, search a heart for a plan. Return the bad boys to grown man. It's on again.
Take a quick look. Look at the color of that Gadite right there. If that ain't our brother, then who the hell is? Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians are kinfolk. You see our Gadites, they are brown skinned and dark skinned like us, and oppressed and burnt to the ground like us.
It's in the darkest corners, hold a perfect blunt, and let me spark it for you. One love from a thug nigga, rolling with a posse full of paranoid drug dealers. To the end, my friends, I'm seeing nothing but my dream.
That's just a little, you know, show our Gadite brothers and sisters. They look just like us, man. Don't let nobody tell you nothing different. And they knew how to dress. You see that style they had? Like that was that Indian style for real. Like they put us up on feathers. You know what I'm saying? But again, when you're being oppressed, it's hard to embrace your people when you got to deal with the oppression. You understand? Where we at? 22 and 16. We're going to go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 16, real quick, right? See, I ain't just got history scriptures, but a lot of these scriptures is for oppression because we've been oppressed all through our history. You understand? So oppression, unfortunately, is a large part of our history. You know, and I got a lot of articles to bring out, so don't worry, I got scriptures for everything. But it's the book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 16. He that oppresseth the poor to increase his riches, and he that giveth to the rich shall surely come to want. You understand? They oppress us and we're poor. We're already beaten down in poverty, and they beat us down more. And they also use the poor people to keep them rich. I don't understand that. We rubbing nickels together to make a dollar out of 15 cents. And you want to take our dollar or our 15 cents to make you richer and to keep us poor. That doesn't make sense. But then when we come up and got a dollar or two, you expect us to spend our hard-earned money on your products, in your business to continue to keep you rich. This is the effed up mental cycle they got us in. They slave us. Like the new slavery is employer-employee, right? We get pennies on a dollar. Even if we make $20 an hour, $22 an hour, they just went up on everybody's rent. So what are we really making here? You make $100 a day for 5 days. That's $500 after taxes. You're lucky if you come home with $350. Let's call a spade a spade. This is why when I was in my late teens or early 20s, I don't know how I made it happen. Working at UPS, only clearing $144 a week, and I was balling back then off of that. Like I don't understand how I was able to do it, but again, we the salt of the earth. We make things happen as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. But this is the effed up cycle they got us in. They got us in poverty. They put us in urbanized neighborhoods where we can't do but so much, can't go but so far, and we could only make but so much. And then we make the money. They tax us on the money we make. Then we're forced to go spend our money in their establishments where they tax us again. And then if you ain't got a bank account, you get a check. You go to the check cashing spot, They gotta tax the check that you get. I got you. I'm gonna get to that precept, young man Hector. They tax you for they tax you for cashing the check after your check's already been taxed. Then you get what's left from that. Then you gotta pay your bills, cell phone bill, put money to the side for rent. Gotta have money for back and forth to work. Like, they put us in these conditions that make it hard to survive. Why do you think Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians got to work 2-3 goddamn jobs and still have a little moonlight side gig on the side, a side gig on the side of that, just to cut a couple corners to try to make ends meet? It make no sense. You know what I'm saying? People work 2 jobs, 3 jobs, barely get sleep, and then it strains the household. When you got a wife and kids, it strains the household because you got to work. If she a stay-at-home wife, you beat up. You barely sleeping. You barely got time to spend with your wife and your kids. You barely got time to give her some Terrifier. You know what I'm saying? Like, you beaten down into a pulp, and they get rich off of us, and they make us want. Just like it Deuteronomy, where it says, you know, it says we call, you know, we come to them in hunger and nakedness and in thirst and in want of in the want of all things. We go to the goddamn oppressor for every little thing, and they made it so we have to. And this is the sick, twisted, sadistic, and diabolical part about the society that we live in. And these are the conditions that they put us in. And they wonder why people be strung out on drugs, and why we feel like we forced to have to rob and steal. But the messed up part is they put us in a position to where we got to rob and steal from one another. Nobody ever sit to think, even though it's wrong, but nobody even sit to think in these conditions, why don't I go rob some white people? Why don't I go rob some East Indians and Asians? Because no matter how messed up and strung out on drugs we is, no matter how beat down and oppressed we is, we not stupid. For some reason, they know not to go against Esau's and law enforcement. They'll rob each other real quick and say the nigga that look like you is his op. But they won't even look twice at the white person walking by, pocket full of money. You understand? Unless they that damn high and they want to take a shot. Now we're gonna go to Deuteronomy 28:33. That's the precept young man Hector gave me. We're gonna check it out. Shalom, Yabashim Yahweh Barakatah, so what's going on with you?
Shalom, Lord of Christ, sir. Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Barakatah, my Lord. What's going on, my Lord?
Shit, shaking the bacon, rocking and rolling. You done missed like 4 or 5 articles already.
Oh shit, man. Nah, I just came back from outside in Newark, man. You know what I mean? Outside in the Brick City.
You know what
you said? We got 5 articles.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm about to fill you in. I was showing them some stuff about our Gadite brothers and sisters, how the white man originally created Coca-Cola to kick his morphine addiction. So he was mixing seltzer water with cocaine and sugar and all types of other stuff. And then when they came up with the concept of selling it to a pharmaceutical company, they said, we'll bottle this up and call it Coca-Cola. But then they had to remove the cocaine from it. And then Prohibition came. So he had to remove the alcohol contents because he was doing all of this just to kick the morphine addiction. So he switched to cocaine and alcohol. But then Prohibition came, so he had to kick the alcohol. And that's where he created Coca-Cola. But Coca-Cola used to really have cocaine in it.
Yeah, Coca-Cola really had cocaine in it.
But then he convinced the pharmaceutical companies, who convinced the government to use our tax dollars to create 65 factories across the United States to manufacture Coca-Cola.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Not only that,
yeah.
check this smooth shit out. This would really have my blood boiling while I've been spitting scriptures 40 going north just now. Did you know George Washington used to have the teeth of slaves yanked at their mouth to create his
yeah. Yeah, so I know about that.
Man,
I know about that.
Diabolical.
Yeah, that's diabolical devils.
But yeah, so young
man,
man,
you know what's crazy right there, right? I like, I was at slavery today, and I ran into my devils that taught me how to roof. You know what I mean? These Polak devils. And I said, good night. I was like, man, good night. I said, I can't stand the white man. But I said, these Polak devils right here, oh, I got a special love for these Polak devils because they taught me how to roof and do everything. They was like, yeah man, you come back to work. Now I mean, you get $400 a day. Now I mean,
so
this,
you know
that, and the
what?
third.
So you make sure in the kingdom you got a special spot for them. Man. Like y'all gonna be my special seat. You ain't even got to worry about whoopers. I got something special lined up for y'all. I ain't even gonna whoop y'all like I got a chill spot. Yeah, like I got a chill spot for y'all. Y'all gonna enjoy slavery. I got y'all. Don't even worry about it. Yeah. But
Salakia, so put me back up. But yeah, every other devil is done.
Oh yeah, they cook. But yeah, young man Hector gave me Deuteronomy 28:33. So it's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 33. The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed alway.
Yes.
Yeah. That's damn good.
That's what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Salakia, can I break it down?
Go ahead, break it down.
No, I mean, all right. When it's talking about right now, right? That the fruit of the land, the fruit is talking about the work you put in. The work you put in, how you get the fruit of the land and of the labors, right? And of a nation which thou knowest not to eat up, right? That means that's the pale-faced oppressor. We didn't know about him, right? He came and grabbed us and he ate it up off of all our labors, off of all our fruit, and we did not know him. Shall we be oppressed and crushed away? Look at the music industry.
Yeah.
The music industry, the construction industry, every industry that we got to deal with, we got to deal with the oppressor, and the oppressor has destroyed us. Sir, you know, a brother told me in the garbage truck industry, right, that he was mad at his brother, talking about his brother was bad luck because he didn't get the goddamn contracts for the garbage truck. I said, are you crazy? I said, are you out of your mind? I said, are you out of your mind? I said, the reason why you ain't got the contracts is because the oppressor don't want you to have the contracts, brother.
But yeah, but
ain't got nothing to do with your... Huh?
He not going to comprehend that, though. You know that. You understand what I'm saying? Because, see, and I understand where you're coming from because you know what you know, and you know they don't know what you know. But at the same time, it's like, you just sitting back, look and shake your head like, damn, if only y'all knew. And I'll be trying to bring it to y'all, but y'all would not listen. Damn. If only y'all would listen, y'all would understand. And I understand that's what be going through your mind most of the time. And I know sometimes you can't help yourself, but you gotta understand, like, if they're not keeping these law, statutes, and commandments like we do, Monsard, you know, faith is there without works.
Hey, sir, Salakia. Like this brother, I was telling this brother like 100 times, right? We had a contract out in Patterson, out in my town. I'm like, listen, he's like, yeah, this nigga is pouring salt on his hand. So about my brother's the bad luck. He didn't put the root on me. If I get this salt up off me and I get his root up off me, I get the contract in Patterson. I said, nigga, you lost your mind. The white man's the devil. That's why you ain't getting.
Other than that, he's destroyed. So he's not gonna get it either way. You know what I'm saying? But let me keep pushing because I got a lot more articles to bring out, a lot more scriptures. And I already know.
No sweat.
You know, once we start having fun, time fly like a mug ahead every time.
Yeah, damn right, sir.
So next article up. To show the more diabolicalness of this goddamn oppressor right here.
The Spanish cut off both hands of a captured Mapuche warrior named Galvarino, hoping to break the will of the Mapuche. After returning to his tribe, he told them this is what would happen to them if they lost the war. He then cauterized his wounds, strapped knives to his arms, and went straight back into battle, slashing through the Spanish like a human weapon, even managing to kill the second in command. Though he was eventually captured and executed, his story became a legend. In the 1500s,
Yeah. Yeah, like that. Stuff like that.
Salakia,
You know what
sir.
I mean?
Salakia, sir. That was a real live Gadite right there. He was going to war.
Yeah, he went said this was gonna happen if we lose the war. He went, wrapped this shit up. Salakia for the language. Wrapped this stuff up. He got ready. He went and got ready. Put some swords on there where his hands would be. And he said, I'm going back. What you mean?
Damn right, sir.
Now I'm gonna bust this one down. If we go to the book of Zechariah, chapter 7, verse 10, it says, and oppress not the widow, nor the fatherless, the stranger, nor the poor, and let none of you imagine evil against his brother in your heart. Meaning, for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, don't oppress nobody, because that's not in our nature to oppress others. We're not to oppress a child that has no father. We're to take them in, and you know that's where that saying it takes a village. You understand? We don't oppress the widow because she lost her husband. No, we bring that.
Salakia, sir. If I may, right?
Sisterhood. That.
Salakia, sir, if I may, right? And that's one thing that brothers and sisters do, right? They always oppress the brothers and sisters that don't got no father, that ain't got no children, right? They sit up here and they look at it like, well, I got my baby father, well, I got my children, well, I got this, that, and the third. So that's on the other people. No, you don't oppress the people that are stupid, that don't have their baby fathers, or none of that. You take them in, you be like, look, let me show you how to do this. Nah, man, this is what we do. That's what that scripture is talking about. That shows brotherhood and sisterhood. Our people don't have brotherhood and sisterhood. Our people have destruction, sir. That's the history. When you look at the history of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, it's all destruction. You got brothers and sisters talk about they don't like Hispanics when Hispanics are black.
Right.
Hey, that man, Hispanics are black. No, man, and they don't like Hispanics, sir.
I just looked at a clip on TikTok, right? Mexican dude being interviewed. It's two black dudes standing not too far from him.
And he gonna say he's black.
No. Let me tell you what happened. He said the N-word, and the two black dudes turned around and was like, what you say? He was like, I'm Mexican, so I'm black. He was like, so I can say nigga.
I'm Mexican, so I'm black.
And you know what happened? You know what happened? They pieced him up. He's like, Ondale.
Ondale, mi odo negro.
Yeah. He embraced them back. Yeah, that's it. And you know what? That's brotherhood. That's what we're supposed to do. That's what we're supposed to do. He let him know. He's like, I'm black like you. I could say it.
Damn right. Damn right. I mean, like, this is the problem, right? Salakia, my lord, right?
All right, don't get carried away with now speeches now. Told you, I'm on the agenda today. I'm trying to get history.
Sir. Let me get this last one off, right?
Yeah, get the last one. Yeah.
All right. Listen, brothers and sisters, the only reason why it seems like Hispanics don't like you is because the tribe of Judah is supposed to set the trend for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Your baby mamas, your baby fathers, you're disgusting. You're nothing to look up to. That's the only reason why they treat us that way. Rather than that, if we were in order, the Hispanics would be under our thumb. Salakia.
No, what you're saying is heavy, right? But again, we have to know who we are in order to know where we're heading in life in general, right? And it starts with like for example, when we at camp, it starts with just coming over and start asking questions. But you got people like the Purple People Eaters and them fake groups, and then you got Islam and Christian church and all of that garbage out there, all in the mix, confusing our folks. And then they come over asking us questions, but their questions are skewed because they're like, well, ain't you with them over there? I'm like, nah, because if they was with us, they'd be over here with us and not over there doing whatever they doing. There's a difference when you're actually doing the work of the Lord and not pump faking and play pimping out there and making it seem like you're doing the work of the Lord, but all you're doing is just taking up space in people's time and trying to mimic what you see across the street. Because in all actuality, they would not be over there out setting up shop if they knew we wasn't out there. Why you think they try to randomly pop up in Journal Square over here in Jersey City? You know what I'm saying? Like, they know what they doing, and they think they slick. But at the end of the day, we don't care, because when we go out there and we hold camp, they already know that's our corner. And hate to sound like a drug dealer, but that's our strip. That's our corner. That's our shit. Period. And you ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, as soon as we go out there, right? So we take that goddamn corner within 1 second. That's why it's all on my Facebook page.
Everybody move. I don't care who out there. They all move. Ain't nothing shaking. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing shaking when we get out there. And we ain't even out there. We just standing there, two of us holding posts until the van with the equipment pull up. You feel me? And we just out there politicking. But when they see that all black on, or they see us with our garments on, they already know. Oh, the niggas is back. Oh. We could not be out there for a whole 6 months. We come out there, they already know what it is. All y'all Muslims and drug dealers, take y'all asses back across the street. Them Christians already know where they already know what to do. They stay where they at. And them fake groups, y'all already know what it is. This our corner. Better not catch you near our corner. Even if we ain't coming out there that weekend. Don't touch our corner. They know what it is. But yeah, moving forward, let's get to this next article. This next little clip right here.
Of the bravest black women you've never heard of. At just 15, Dorothy Counts faced violent mobs with no fear. Her name should be in history books, but it was erased. In 1957, Dorothy Counts Scoggins integrated a white school in Charlotte, North Carolina. On her first day, she faced rocks, slurs, and spit from a hateful mob. Despite the abuse, she kept walking, holding her head high. But after just 4 days, her parents had to withdraw her for safety. James Baldwin said, "It made me furious and filled me with both hatred and pity, and it made me ashamed. One of us should have been there with her." Dorothy's courage was hidden in the shadows, but her bravery deserves to be remembered. Why don't we hear about Dorothy Counts in history books? Drop a comment if you think her story deserves to be told. Follow for more hidden black history, because this journey is just beginning. You watched his cartoons your whole life, just never knew a black man helped create them. Floyd Norman was just a boy when he fell in love with animation, watching Dumbo and Bambi in a segregated America. By 1957, he became the first black animator hired by Walt Disney for a long-term position. He worked on Sleeping Beauty, 101 Dalmatians, and The Jungle Book, where Walt personally handpicked him for story development. But when Walt died, Floyd did something few dared. He left to tell his own stories. He co-founded Vignette Films, one of the first studios to animate black history. Then came Sesame Street, Fat Albert, Mulan, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Toy Story 2, and Monsters, Inc. Decades of brilliance, often uncredited. He was the last writer of the Mickey Mouse comic strip, the heartbeat behind so many of your favorite films, yet still erased from the frame. They tried to write him out, but the art never lies. Follow for more untold stories, because this journey is just beginning. He escaped.
Before I get to that next one.
Yo, Salakia, sir. This brother, he made 101 Dalmatians.
The Jungle Book, Hunchback of Notre Dame, Hunchback of Notre Dame, Milan, Monsters, Inc. 2. Like, I took 101 Dalmatians to watch that. Like,
that is crazy. All this time, I'm thinking Devils came up with the Jungle Book, 101 Dalmatians.
Snow White. Yeah.
Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs. Yeah.
Yeah. He created Sesame Street, Fat Albert. Fat Albert.
Oh yeah, okay. I can see Fat Albert, but he created Sesame Street.
Yeah, think about it. Look at how those two. If you ever catch an episode of both, look how they look similar. How Sesame Street and how Fat Albert look. Like where Fat Albert Street is, where he live at. Look and see how similar Fat Albert and Sesame Street looks. Nobody never thought of putting two and two together.
That's crazy. Damn.
But see, if we don't teach classes like this, we'll never know our history, bro.
Nah, you're right, son. You're right, my lord.
Now I'm gonna do two more, and then we're gonna cover some scriptures and stuff. But I just wanted to bring that out, like that. I knew you was gonna like that one. See, I like bringing out some
come on,
stuff for our people.
Like, nah. When you said he did the 101 Dalmatians, I said, good night. He did the 101 Dalmatians. That was my 101 Dalmatians was my thing.
Yeah.
Salaki.
Yeah. He did about 60 to 70% of Disney's animation back then.
So he did all. So when we go down Florida, we was down Florida for your Hebrew Academy.
Yeah.
Right? They had all the animations. Oh, like I remember I was in the airport stuck. I'm like, man, how the hell I get out this goddamn airport? But they had all the animations all over the place.
Well, let me tell you. Again,
down in Orlando, Florida.
But if you let them tell it, they'll say it was a white man that did all of that. He'll never get the credit that he deserved.
Yeah, right.
And that's the point. But yeah, let me.
Yeah, so Salakia, this is a hell of a class, man. Like I thought I was bringing out better history classes than you. I'm like, nah. I was like, yeah, got some heat.
We all bring it out. We all bring out we all bring out the good stuff. It's gonna get.
You said what?
I said we all bring out the good stuff. It's gonna get even better. I got plenty more. I'm about to bring out.
Okay, sir. Most High in Christ, sir.
Slavery, twice in a single day. They dragged him back and he still rose. That's power. Charles Null was born enslaved in Virginia. At 16, he was handed off like property to another plantation. But in 1858, during an auction, he ran. With help from the Underground Railroad, he reached Troy, New York, and began a new life. But freedom in America was fragile. On April 27, 1860, he was arrested under the Fugitive Slave Act. As the town gathered in protest, one woman stepped forward, Harriet Tubman. In the chaos, Nala broke free across the Hudson River, only to be captured again on the other side. But the people refused to let him go. A second clash erupted. His community raised $650 to buy the freedom he had already earned with his courage. Charles Nall didn't just escape once. He defied slavery twice in a single day. If that moved you, let the world know, because stories like his deserve more than silence. Follow for more Black history, because this journey is just beginning. Without this Black woman, modern medicine would look completely different. Her name, Henrietta Lacks, and her cells have saved millions of lives. In 1951, Henrietta Lacks went to Johns Hopkins for cancer treatment. Without her knowledge, doctors took a sample of her tumor, cells that did something no human cells had ever done before. They never died. These cells, now called HeLa, became the foundation of medical research, helping to develop the polio vaccine, cancer treatments, and even COVID-19 research. But Henrietta never gave consent, and her family didn't know for decades while companies made billions. Despite the injustice, her impact is undeniable. In 2021, the World Health Organization honored her legacy, and her cells continue to shape medicine today. Why isn't Henrietta Lacks a household name? Drop a comment if you think the world should know her story. Follow for more untold Black history, because this journey is just beginning. She built a hospital when Black women couldn't even vote. Born in 1863 in Mebane, North Carolina, an orphan at birth, Lucy Hughes Brown was never meant to be ordinary. By 1894, She became the first black woman licensed to practice medicine in both North Carolina and South Carolina, graduating from the Women's Medical College of Pennsylvania, one of only 52 women in her class. But Lucy didn't stop there. In Charleston, in 1897, she co-founded the Cannon Hospital and Training School for Nurses, the first black nursing school in South Carolina. She ran the Department of Nursing, taught obstetrical care, and edited the state's first black medical journal. At a time when black women had no political voice, Lucy gave them a medical one. A healer, a writer, an organizer, Lucy Hughes Brown redefined power. She once wrote, "I would make my life a song and sing it to the world." Who's a hidden legend I should cover next? Drop a name in the comments. This is our history. Follow for more untold stories, because this journey is just beginning.
I got a lot of more. I got a lot of more. Dang,
The lock
nothing.
is
I got a
man.
lot.
Yeah. You bring that history out today.
Yeah, man. We got to know who we are and where we came from, man. If we don't know how great we are as a people, the ISUPK and the Commander General YAHANNA is going to remind the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians of the world who we are. You understand? And we
Damn
gonna
right,
be
damn right. Hey, sir. Nah, man, I'm trying to figure out who better between you and Officer Kashaka Ward right now. Nah, man, I'm about to start something. I'm about to start something else. I'm like, yo. Nah, man, out of the two brothers, who's better? Who's better out of the two brothers? The two brothers as brothers, right? Cookie's son and my other aunt. You know what I mean? Your mother. That's my aunt too. You feel me? I seen her when I had pulled up in Jersey City. I had seen her and stuff.
You gotta understand, you know, Shot, that's my other one. You know, he who he is, man. I can only be me. Man, I can only be the best priest I could be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
But
damn right. Damn right.
If we go to the book of Romans, chapter 15, verse 4, right?
Hold up, sir. Let me read it for you. You say it's Romans what?
Chapter
15 and 4?
Verse 4, yeah.
Okay. All right. It's the book of Romans, chapter 15, verse 4. For whatever things were written after time were written for our learning.
Wait. It says, for whatsoever things were written aforetime, meaning aforetime, like before now, like before, back in the day, and the time before time within its time. You know, these laws, statutes, and commandments was written. You know, our history has been written. Our greatness already has been cemented in the history books. This Bible here is a test and a testament of our greatness, even through oppression. These laws, statutes, and commandments shows how great we are as a people. You understand? That's why I say, for whosoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning. This is for us to learn our history and to know moving forward that we are great and we can continue to be great, but we have to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments in order to reach that level of greatness and beyond.
Damn right.
And as a people, that through patience and comfort of the scriptures might we have hope. Without these laws, statutes, and commandments, we have no hope. Without these laws, statutes, and commandments, we don't have no structure. So we need these laws, statutes, and commandments, not just for our knowledge of learning, but for our history, for our culture, and for our well-being, because it teaches us how to live and how to live like Christ. You understand? And how to live for the Most High and still live for one another.
Damn right.
But yeah, I got some more articles. I'm trying to get through them because I still got.
How many articles you got, sir?
I got 7 in the clip already, and I got a few more that I still ain't upload yet that I got in my.
You got 7 articles in the clip?
Yeah.
All right, let's break them down.
All right.
Out of the history books. But on the night of September 5th, 1942, Charles Jackson French became a legend. Aboard the USS Gregory, a Navy ship near the Solomon Islands, French was caught in a deadly attack by Japanese forces. The ship was sunk. Chaos erupted. But Charles didn't run. He pulled 15 wounded sailors into a life raft, wrapped a rope around his waist, and jumped into shark-infested waters. For 8 hours, he swam near enemy lines, alone, in the dark, bleeding, exhausted. But he never let go. When Marines finally rescued them, every man was alive. The officer he rescued got a Purple Heart. But Charles? Just a thank you letter from the Navy. Charles Jackson French swam through hell to save his brothers. Now it's time the world remembers his name. They called him a killer, but he was just a child. George Stinney Jr., only 14 years old, was the youngest person executed in America in the 20th century. The year was 1944. In Jim Crow, South Carolina, 2 white girls were found murdered, and within hours the finger pointed at George, a black boy barely over 5 feet tall, weighing just 90 pounds. No lawyer, no evidence, just a rushed trial. A guilty verdict delivered by an all-white jury in 10 minutes. And 83 days later, George was strapped into the electric chair. The helmet didn't even fit his small head. He cried for his mother. But they flipped the switch anyway. 70 years later, he was exonerated. Too late for George, but never too late for the truth. Because America must remember. Justice denied to a child is justice denied to us all. They called him Joseph R. Winters. But he wasn't just a name. He was a fire-stopping force of nature. Born in 1816 to a family of abolitionists, Winters fused courage with creativity. And in 1878, he patented something that would forever change how fires were fought. A wagon-mounted fire escape ladder. Portable, extendable, fast. Before Winters, fire rescues were chaos. After him, lives were saved with speed and precision. But he didn't stop there. He later patented an improved version, lighter, stronger, and easier to use, making him a 2-time patent holder in an era when most black inventors were denied basic rights. And still, he's left out of our textbooks. No spotlight, no parades. But every time a ladder reaches a burning window, Winters is there. This wasn't just invention, it was legacy. It's time we remember the man who helped revolutionize the firefighting industry. Did you know that a black inventor revolutionized road safety and firefighting? Meet Garrett Morgan, the genius behind the modern traffic light and gas mask. In 1923, Morgan patented a 3-position traffic signal that added a yellow light, improving road safety and reducing accidents significantly. But his brilliance didn't stop there. In 1914, he invented a gas mask that saved countless lives during World War I and improved safety for firefighters. Morgan faced racial barriers and financial struggles, but persisted, becoming a pivotal figure in American innovation. His contributions laid the groundwork for the safety measures we rely on today, yet his name remains underappreciated in history. Today, we change that. Drop a traffic light in the comments for Garrett Morgan, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Before the world stood for him, Benny King stood for something greater: soul, dignity, and truth in every note he sang. Born in North Carolina and raised in Harlem, Benny King rose from humble beginnings to become one of the most iconic voices in soul music. He started with the Drifters, blessing us with timeless hits, but it was his solo masterpiece, Stand By Me, that changed everything. That song wasn't just music. It was a prayer, a promise, and a cultural anthem that echoed through civil rights marches, weddings, and moments of triumph across the globe. Benny King's voice stood by generations, and long after he's gone, his legacy still plays, loud, proud, and powerful. Because when the night has come and the land is dark, his soul still sings.
She built a hospital when black women couldn't even vote. Born in 1860, when no one else would fight for them, they built the first all-black union and rewrote what it meant to be seen, heard, and respected. In 1925, 500 porters met in Harlem, tired of being overworked, underpaid, and called George like they didn't have names. From that meeting, they launched the Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters, the first all-black union in American history. They worked for the Pullman Company, one of the largest employers of black men at the time. But the job came with harsh conditions. 400 hours a month, no promotion, and silence in the face of racism. Organizing was dangerous. Workers were fired, spied on, even assaulted. But under the leadership of A. Philip Randolph, Milton Webster, and C.L. Dellums, they didn't just build a union, they built a movement. They pushed for better wages, overtime pay, and civil rights, long before the marches. This wasn't just about jobs, this was about dignity. If we don't honor the architects of our resistance, who will? Comment one lesson we should still carry from their fight. This is our history. Follow for more untold stories, because this journey is just beginning.
I got more. I got some stuff for our Gadites too, because it's good that we learn about not just Black history, but Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian history, because we need to know how great our Gadite brothers and sisters were before they got eradicated. You understand? By falling for the tricks of the damn oppressor, by accepting blankets with smallpox. The Pequot Indian War, they went and grabbed all the men and fathers like a thief in the night, and then slaughtered all the women and children. You understand? I did that in one of my other history classes. It was 700 of them. The last 300, they broke up into two groups. 100 went this way, the other 200 went this way. And they started doing to the oppressor what was being done to them. Like, you know, they was gifted with the sword, but where do you think they got scalping from? They got scalping from us, because our Gadite brothers were savages with that tomahawk, I call it a hatchet, because it's like a hammer, but it's got a, you know what I'm saying? It was a form of, it was a knife. It was like a hatchet, because that thing was like a hammer, but it was a blade, like, and they would just peel all his back, your skin with your hair. You know what I'm saying? Like, they was brutal with it. Now we go to the book of Job, chapter 8, verse 8. Starting from verse 8 to verse 10, right? Like, I don't know if you really watching, Marcel, but we some great people, man. If you look at what I showed, what our ancestors did, look at the stuff that we created. Look at how we modernized today's time with the traffic light, with the mobile ladder for firefighters. You understand? Gas masks. Basically facial respirators. We use them for defibrillators. We use them in first aid kits. We use them in factories and plants. You know what I mean? When you're cleaning out the boilers of the garbage plants, the ones that burn garbage for energy, we put on full face respirators to go in there to clean out the excess garbage that get jammed in the teeth of the machine at the bottom that grinds it up when they cook it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we use the masks in a lot of different ways. Firefighters use those masks. Like, we are the inventors of this world. We created everything. We built up everything. Like how you was talking about the construction industry. Before there was a construction industry, we built and innovated.
Yeah, Salakia, sir. You were saying before I talked about, when I was talking about it earlier with my devils.
Yeah, like when you was talking about we built that up, because if it wasn't for a lot of our inventions, they wouldn't have been able to create the type of companies that they have today. If it wasn't for our people. You understand? And it's the book of Job, chapter 8, starting at verse 8. For inquiry, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare thyself to search of their fathers. Meaning, we have to search our forefathers. This is what we're doing now by doing history class. We're searching our forefathers. We're searching for Christ. We're searching for the Most High. We're searching for Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You understand? We're searching for the knowledge and the wisdom of our forefathers in order to find out who we are. And the best way to do it, go through these law, statutes, and commandments and the ISUPK and the Commander General YAHANNA. You understand? We're in search of our former age, meaning our fathers and forefathers. You understand? And we're in search of them to find, because when we find them, we find our heritage. We find our lineage. We learn about the covenant. Verse 9. For we are but of yesterday and know nothing. Meaning these generations that we are in now, we don't know nothing. We don't have the law. We're just now getting the law. We late to the wedding, as the other scriptures say. You know what I'm saying? We're just a bit of but yesterday. You know what I'm saying? We're like a shadow of yesterday. Because yesterday, the generations before us, they didn't know it. So we have to keep backtracking and going back until we get to a point where we knew the scriptures. We knew who we were. And we got to go back at least couple thousand years, maybe. This is how oppressed we are. And I said it in the beginning of class, it's sad that we would literally have to go back beyond 1,000 years to know who we are, because we've been oppressed for over 1,000 years. Because think about it. We was in oppression over 400 years in today's society now. And then before that, we was in oppression and enslaved by the Pharaoh forever. How long? You understand? Because if I'm not mistaken, that was like a 400-year captivity too, separated from the Most High. You know what I'm saying? The Lord takes the spirit out of the world at times when we're being that disobedient. But a time comes when his spirit returns back into the earth. And that's the time, that's the grace period that we're given under Christ to get back to one another and to get back to these law, statutes, and commandments. Because a lot of people think when they say we under grace that we don't got to keep the law. No, grace is a grace period. Like, you got to be at work at 8 o'clock. You got till 8:15, no later than that, to be considered late. That 15 minutes is called a grace period. Christ sacrificed himself to give us grace, a grace period to get our ish together and gather together like in Zephaniah 2:1 and get back to these law, statutes, and commandments. We finish verse 9. For we are but of yesterday and know nothing, because our days upon the earth are a shadow. From what we know back in Israel to now, we're just a shadow of who our forefathers were. We're just a light on the wall. Who we were.
Salakia, my Lord, bring that verse back again. That goddamn, that shit is like poetry. It's like a rap metaphor. Bring that back, my Lord.
Khan. It's the book of Job, chapter 8, verse 9. For we are but of yesterday and know nothing.
Of yesterday. Salakia, sir. When it says that we are of yesterday, meaning we were of yesterday. You walking around, don't walk around here with a pride chest. Don't walk around here like you know everything. We are just of yesterday. Continue, my Lord.
Khan, and know nothing.
And no, not a goddamn thing, right? You brothers and sisters don't know a damn thing. You think you're getting married. You're getting on one knee and you're worshiping a woman. You're worshiping a woman, and the woman is going to take away your money and give it to another man.
No, let me tell you. Salakia, let me tell you, I looked at a clip online. Husband walked in the kitchen while wife was in the kitchen, right? He was like, babe, if I hit the lottery, what would you do? I take half your money and leave. He was like,
good.
For real? She was laughing. She started giggling. It was like, yeah. He was like, oh, good. I won the lotto. I won $40. Here's 20. Get the fuck out. She looked like,
good night.
Yeah, no. That was why he did that. He wanted to see what she was saying. She failed miserably. He said, if I hit the lotto, what would you do? She said, I would take half your money and leave you. Word. I hit for $40 yesterday. Here's 20. Get the F out.
So lock in, my lord.
The question was he wrong? No, he was not wrong. He was absolutely right.
Nah.
He can't throw away.
Nah.
But
so lock in, sir. Nah, man, that right there was going with this precept you bringing out. That's what's heavy.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, oh, this is like, oh man, this is like poetry.
And that's why I brought it out, because we are of yesterday and know nothing.
Of yesterday.
Because if we knew something,
No.
the sister would have had a whole different answer and be like, no, you're
Right.
my husband. I'm not going nowhere. Ain't no money going to separate us, because at the end of the day, you're my king. That was supposed to have been her answer.
That's exactly what's supposed to be her answer. Her answer was supposed to be my husband, my man. And let's not get it wrong, right? I mean, I don't want to take it away. It's sisters out here, sir, that's like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like every day is like my man. I'm a property, my man. It's sisters out here that's like that. We're not going to take away and act like it's not sisters out here that's like that.
Now we have to discern the difference between sisters that's like that and those that's crazy like that, because some of them is a little not too right. They're a little loose cannon in the head. Now when they say that's my man, like they saying that like, yeah, he my property, he belong to me, nobody else. Now those are those little toxic broads you got to stay away from. Those be the ones that'll do acrobatics on you and then go jump on the treadmill. You got to watch for those. You gotta watch for those.
Right.
But let me keep on topic. Verse 10.
Go ahead, my lord.
Shall not thy teach
Go ahead,
thee?
my lord.
This book of Job, chapter 8, verse 10. Shall not they teach thee and tell thee and utter words out of their heart? Meaning, shall they not teach the next generation? Shall we not teach the next generation? Shall we not tell them about these laws, statutes, and commandments? You know what I'm saying? Shall we not tell them about the Lord thy God and who they are and who they supposed to serve? Shall we not utter the words from our inward parts, our heart, meaning our mind? You understand? This is what we do. This is our job. This is what we do. This is why I'm bringing out this history. This is why I'm teaching the people about who we are by showing who we were. You know what I'm saying? Because if I show not just bad stuff about us, I'm tired of always just showing the parts of us being oppressed, being enslaved, being under shackles, or just rebelling. We got more. It's more to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians than just the bad stuff. Let's talk about the good stuff. That's why I bring that out. We the ones that hold Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians hold the most patents in the world. We hold the most patents for inventions. What does that say? We built this country. We built this world. Right. That's what that means. When we wasn't allowed to, we did it anyway. We did it anyway. You understand? And that's why I'm bringing out what I'm bringing out, man. Let me get to the next little clip of videos. We almost there. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. And we making a good time. Because inside some of them be other ones. I'll be like, let me click on that one. You know what I'm saying? Here's a good one, though. It's about our Gadite.
Stabbed him in the back. The U.S. didn't just want Lakota land. They wanted Crazy Horse dead. They slaughtered the buffalo, starving his people into submission. They burned villages, forcing entire families to flee into the freezing plains. They broke every treaty, pushing the Lakota further west, hoping they'd disappear forever. But instead of breaking, they created the one warrior they feared most. His name was Crazy Horse, and no warrior haunted the U.S. Army more. He lured 80 U.S. soldiers into an ambush at the Fetterman Massacre, wiping them out to the last man. He led the charge at Little Big Horn, where Custer and his men were annihilated. He fought like a ghost, striking and vanishing before the army could react. They couldn't catch him. They couldn't kill him. The U.S. called him a terrorist, a savage, a threat to civilization. But he wasn't fighting for power. He was fighting because the U.S. was trying to wipe his people off the map. And when they couldn't kill him in war, they destroyed the one thing his people couldn't live without. With the buffalo gone, starvation set in. The Lakota were being forced into surrender, but Crazy Horse refused. Even in surrender, the U.S. feared him. They spread rumors that he was planning an uprising. They whispered lies to Lakota leaders, turning allies into enemies. They lured him to Fort Robinson with promises of peace, but it was a setup. When he arrived, soldiers surrounded him. Crazy Horse knew what was happening. He fought back. He struggled to break free. And then, a bayonet was driven into his back. He didn't die in battle. He was assassinated while resisting captivity. They thought killing him would break the Lakota. Instead, Crazy Horse became the legend they could never bury. They couldn't kill him in battle. They couldn't break his spirit. So they did what cowards do best, stabbed him in the back. The U.S. didn't just want Lakota land. They wanted Crazy Horse dead. They slaughtered the buffalo, starving his people into submission. They burned villages, forcing entire families to flee into the freezing plains. They broke every treaty, pushing the Lakota further west, hoping they'd disappear forever. But instead of breaking, they created the one warrior they feared most. In school, the first town in the U.S. Here's a story they don't teach in school. The first town in the U.S., founded by formerly enslaved black people, that's Princeville, North Carolina. Right after the Civil War ended in 1865, black families who had just gained their freedom didn't wait around. They took land no one else wanted, low, swampy, flood-prone, and built a town from the ground up. They named it Freedom Hill. No running from racism, just running toward power. By 1885, it became official, Princeville, the first all-black incorporated town in the U.S. They built homes, churches, schools, black excellence in action. But Princeville faced major floods, systemic racism, and repeated attempts to wipe it off the map. And yet, Princeville survived. It's a living legacy of black strength, vision, and community. So why don't more people know its name?
Imagine a lawman so legendary, outlaws surrendered at the mere mention of his name. Bass Reeves was that man. Born into slavery in 1838, he escaped during the Civil War and later became one of the first black U.S. Marshals in the Wild West. Reeves was fearless. He arrested over 3,000 criminals, including notorious outlaws, using disguises, expert tracking, and unmatched gun skills. Unlike many lawmen of his time, Reeves was known for his honor and fairness, never taking bribes or abusing his power. Some even say he inspired the Lone Ranger. His legacy? A forgotten hero who tamed the Wild West, one outlaw at a time.
Yeah. I got a lot more.
Yeah, what's heavy about them articles you bringing out, sir, right? Is you bringing out articles on our history. Brothers, you know what I mean, that really put that work in for Israel. It's real heavy.
Yeah. Like, people gotta understand, there wouldn't be sheriffs and deputies if it wasn't for the black man. The black man was the first sheriff and deputy. You understand? The black man was the first original samurai. Understand what I just said? The black man was the first original samurai. There's a statue that stands in Japan to this day, and it's a statue of a samurai. But you know who it is? A nigga. When you see the facial features of that samurai, he ain't got that little nose, that little Chinese nose. He ain't got them little slanted eyes. He got features of a nigga. Period. This is why I take a lot of pride in teaching these history classes. This is stuff we need to know about. We don't just need to know about the racism. We don't just need to know about the oppression. We don't just need to know about getting beat down to a fine powder and our sisters and brothers being tortured left and right. You know what I'm saying? We also need to know that we invented everything. We also need to know that we built up everything. You understand? If it wasn't for us, it would be worse than lawless America if it wasn't for us. It's only lawless America because they make laws that don't benefit us. That's it. Why? Because they fear us. Why? Because they know we the shit. It's just that simple. There's no other way to sugarcoat it. They fear us because we're superior beings to them and we the shit. That's it. That's the only way that's the only way to put it. You understand? We invented everything, we built up everything, and they take all the credit. Because if we don't know no better, how we going to know better? How we going to know to put in a patent if we don't know? Again, this is why I said in the other precept, we're of but of yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Even though our ancestors wasn't and didn't keep the law, statutes, and commandments, they were great thinkers. They were inventors. They didn't get caught up in drugs and alcohol and feminism and all of that stuff like we do in today's time, because none of that garbage existed. You understand? It was slavery. It was freedom. It was building or destroying. You understand? It was either being oppressed or being free and overcoming it. You know what I'm saying? Like that was it. It wasn't nothing else. It was either we gonna be over here and we gonna flourish as a people, or we gotta deal with these mofos over here and be oppressed by them. Nah, we gonna be over here. We don't need them. We don't need their money. You know what happened? They needed us. So what they do? They burned our towns to the ground. They burned everything we built down to the ground. No matter where we started life again without them, whether we escaped or we was just genuinely free, they burned our shit down, period. They just burned it down to the ground because they can't figure. That other history class, they dropped bombs in Philly, bro, because they was starting another Black Panther type movement. They brought soldiers into Philly and dropped bombs like it was Hiroshima in the streets. They either bombed us or they burned our stuff down to the ground. They can't stand to see us rise as a people. This is why I take great pride in these history classes. We need to know who we were. You understand? We need to know about yesterday. We need to know about who we are as a people. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 5. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. Meaning the Most High knew who he was before we even formed in the belly. He knew who we was going to become before we formed in the belly. He knew we was going to be wicked, disgusting pieces of garbage until we found the truth. He knew thee before thee formed in the belly. You understand? And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sacrificed thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. This is what's heavy about that. Before we came out the womb, we was already ordained as a priest and prophet without even knowing it. Hey, I thought I would never stop eating shrimp, pork, crab, and lobster and smoking weed, and here I sit before you a priest and a prophet, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Here you sit before thee. You know what I'm saying? You never once thought from the life you lived that you would be sitting where you are in the position you in now. You understand? This is why we take this seriously. Like I try to keep it as professional as possible, but like at the end of the day, I don't got nothing else. This is all I got. This truth and this brotherhood and this sisterhood is all I got. I don't got nothing else. My family been dropping like flies. I ain't got much family. Family I got is the ones.
Yeah, right, sir.
You understand?
And I mean, yeah, and you here now, right, sir? You're a great priest and prophet. This is what you came here. This is what you made to do.
I'm not great yet. I'm getting there. I'm
no,
fighting.
I mean, no. Look. If I'm giving you, if I'm telling you, you getting good. You getting good. You know, I don't tell too many people they good, sir.
Well,
Salakia.
excuse me, sir. Salakia out of one. Nah, but for real, like we have to, and this is all part of getting rooted in the truth. You got, and the whole point why they say get more rooted in the truth, they mean what that really means is they see something that you don't see or you can't see it. It's like basically you still got a toe in the world and don't even realize it. You know what I mean? Whatever it may be, and they waiting for you to see you shake that piece of the world left off of you and really embody this priesthood, and then you'll show the difference. You don't have to say nothing; it'll show itself. You know what I'm saying? Like we still, in ways, fight to keep the world off of us because we still have to live in the world we're in, even as priests. So it's gonna be days. You're gonna have good days. You're gonna have bad days. You're gonna have days where you're gonna struggle. You're gonna have days where you gotta really like buckle down and fight. You might find yourself on the phone with men above you all damn day. You know what I'm saying? You never know what it might be. You might feel like there's nothing wrong, but you might just feel like calling on your brothers. You know what I'm saying? Just talking to them and give you strength. That's why no matter what, I will randomly call brothers from different zones just to tell them I love them. I do that all the time. I just get up, randomly call. I'm like, Shalom, Lord of Christ. So he's like, what's going on? No, I just want to tell you I love you. That's all. Enjoy your day. Shalom, Lord of Christ. And that's it. You feel me?
Man, Salakia, so you calling everybody in other zones, but you don't call me, man. I'm getting jealous now, man. Like, goddamn.
Nigga, please. I call you. You don't answer your phone. Try again. Mute your phone and try again.
Nah, Salakia brothers and sisters, and the ISUPK, we all love each other very dearly.
You ain't ready yet.
Dearly.
You don't
I always call other zones too.
You don't not answer your phone. That's why I don't call your ass. You don't not answer your phone. You call me back when you get a chance. Other brothers, they answer their phone. I mean, no BS. Captain Tar War be in the middle of slaving and will answer the phone. Shalom, Lord of Christ. What's going on with you?
Oh, yeah, Captain Tar War answers his phone over anything. Yeah, Captain Tar War like that.
Mid-slave, he giving out orders in the slave, and he's, so like, Slack, hold on for a second now. Yeah, I need you to take that and put that over there and do this and do Word up.
Yeah.
Like I call but you know what? And this is why they rocks with me, because I'm one of the only brothers that do that. You know what I'm saying? They don't never expect the Yash to call, but when they called, when they pick up that phone and it's Yash, they glad to hear from them. Because you never know what a brother might have been going through. And that's why I'm making my business to call brothers randomly. Because if it's in my spirit, that means it was meant for me to call them anyway. Because if I was just thinking about calling everybody in Delaware, I'm going to just call them. I don't ever explain why. I just do it and just check up on brothers. You know what I'm saying? They be shocked. They be like, hey, Yash, Jersey. I'm like, yeah, just call and say I love you, sir. That's all. They be like, Most High in Christ, the water. You know what I mean? That might have just made their day without even realizing it. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to remember, we still got to deal with life. We still got to deal with the goddamn oppressor. We still got to go out here and battle with the world every damn day. So if you get a random call from one of your brothers in the truth that you only see once a year during Passover, or you see him twice in a year because of the cookout and Passover, yeah, you're going to appreciate that phone call because you don't get it often. You know what I'm saying? Your brothers that you went into school with, you're going to see them regularly. You know what I'm saying? You're going to see them. But the brothers from other zones, you don't see them often. So I try to stay in touch with everybody. You know what I mean? I can't wait till the Lord come down here and we got Passover every goddamn day. I can't wait. If I go to my next slew of videos, we're going to go to the book of John, chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Before anything else, it was these laws, statutes, and commandments. And before there'll be anything else, it'll be these laws, statutes, and commandments. You understand? The Word is with God, and the Word is God. As long as the Most High God made these laws, statutes, and commandments, and we follow them, He's with us. You understand? As long as we're teaching these words, we're teaching the words of God. And that's basically all it is in a nutshell. The beginning was the Word. The Word was with God. The Word is of God because He made these words. You understand? Without Him, we can't live to tell the story. We can't explain how we have souls in our bodies. We can't explain what makes our bodies work and for us to breathe and blink and talk and walk, but we do. This is why we have to understand that when we was in the world, we took the Lord for granted because we damaged and messed up our bodies by excessively drinking, by getting high. You understand? Becoming overweight, not properly taking care of this body that I was given.
Yeah, right, sir.
You get what I'm saying? Women being promiscuous, not respecting their bodies enough to be young princesses. You understand what I'm saying? Like we took the Lord for granted and disrespected the Lord by disrespecting ourselves before we started disrespecting others. And this is why we have to learn these law, statutes, and commandments and keep the law, statutes, and commandments so we don't continue that repetitive cycle of wickedness. Because honestly, that wickedness is for them other nations. It ain't for us. Let them believe in what they want to believe. Let them do what they want to do. That's their business. Don't cast your jewels to swine. You know, as much as we want to correct them and shut them down and all of that, I just wave my hand and let them be. Y'all be all right. You believe what you want to believe. I'm going to keep talking to my people because these are the ones that I need to reach. You understand? These are the ones that need to get it. I got to be patient for them, not you. You know what I mean? They're the ones that's got to get it, not you. And that's just what it is, bro. Like, without the Most High, we nothing, man. Without these law, statutes, and commandments, we are nothing. For really, though. What the? Salakia. Now I'm ready to get to my next video. You ready?
Salakia, sir. Let's get it.
All right.
Black Hispanics between 14 to 21. They must get stopped.
At the end of the month, these officers who
hold on, right.
This to your face. Black Hispanics between 14 to 21. They must get stopped.
At the end of the month, these officers, whoever don't have that arrest or those few summonses, they're pressured to find something. You might not see nothing. You're supposed to be visible. You might not see anything, but you go hunting, like bounty hunting for an arrest, locking up some old guy, some homeless guy, finding somebody who's riding a bicycle on the sidewalk, who's spitting, and you bring him in.
The problem is when you go hunting, when you put any type of numbers on a police officer to perform, we are going to go to the most vulnerable.
The most vulnerable.
Of course, we're going to go to LGBT community. We're going to go to the black community. We're going to go to those people that have no vote, that have no power. If we start doing what we're doing in Midtown Manhattan, a phone call to the mayor's office is going to be made. That's going to be the end of it.
We're the predators, they're the prey. The worst thing you can have is a police officer that needs an arrest for the month.
So you're all minorities. How does that make you feel?
It's horrible.
This is something coming from the top that trickles its way down, and this is why we're all here today.
If I may, my Lord. If I may, my Lord.
Mm-hmm.
If I may, my Lord.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Yeah, this is why, brothers and sisters, you cannot commit crimes. You cannot go out here and commit crimes. You can't do it. Don't go out here. Don't get no tickets. Don't do nothing wrong. Don't do it. Don't. Now, you know, Officer Mar was sorry, you know, when I was in the world, you know what I mean? I got my license suspended. I did a whole bunch of crazy stuff. I did crazy things. But I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, you are not me. Do not go out there and do anything wrong. Don't do it. You just seen what these police said. They're going to lock you up for nothing.
That wasn't even police. That was black and Hispanic councilmen.
Black and Hispanic. Those were black and Hispanic police at the New York City Police Department, sir. I've seen this article before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Salakia, my Lord.
Yeah.
No sweat. Yeah. Now, I mean, like, we cannot do it, right? You're going to go out here. You think you're going to play with Esau. You think you're going to play with these devils. And it's going to be a very bad result for you. We must practice not breaking laws. You know what I mean? All the police that know me around East Orange, Newark, Irvington, Essex County, Patterson, even going to Passaic County, they don't even bother me no more, sir. You know that, right? They don't even bother me no more. They know I don't do nothing bad no more.
You know why they don't bother you?
Go ahead, sir. Tell me why.
Because you're in the ISUPK and the Commander General YAHANNA. You know why? Because you graduated Hebrew Academy and got that cover finally. You know why? Because you got the light. You got the light of Christ on you. That's why they don't bother you.
Right.
And
damn right.
Right. Time for oppression. And we go to the book of John, chapter 14, verse 26.
Let me get this, sir. No, let me read it. Hold up. John,
sure?
Let me see. You said John 14 and 6, sir?
14 and 26.
John 14 and 26. All right, hold up. Let me get there. I'll be there in 1 second. So I'm in John right now. All right, this is the book of John, chapter 14, verse 26. But the Comforter, which is the Holy Ghost, right? Brothers and sisters, the Holy Ghost means a separate spirit, personality.
I was getting to break it down. I asked you to read. You gonna break it down for me?
All right, sir. Sir, just tell me shut the hell up and just read.
No, I ain't gonna do that, but if you're gonna read for me, read for me. Let me break it down. I got you.
All right, Salakia, my Lord. Look, but the Comforter, which is the Holy Ghost,
which is the Spirit,
whom the Father will send in my name.
Slow down. Let's stop at which is the Holy Ghost. We'll pause right there for a minute. The Comforter, which is the Holy Ghost, which is the Spirit of the Most High God. And you want to know what else the Spirit is of the Most High God? The laws, statutes, and commandments. So let's not get confused. This is not no holy entity that the Christian church be sitting there jumping and gyrating in the middle of the pews, talking about they getting the Holy Ghost and shaking and twerking for the Lord and all that garbage. No, it's just having a holy meaning separate, having a separate spirit from what these oppressors have, having a separate spirit other than these other nations. You understand? And Comforter is nothing but the comfort of the law, statutes, and commandments, providing you hope, providing you comfort, knowing that the Lord is with you as long as you keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Let's not take these words and confuse them and let's break them down for what it really is. The Comforter is the law. Holy is separate. Ghost is the spirit of the law. So the Holy Spirit is a separate spirit, not of these other nations, not of the world, but of the Most High God, whom the Father will send in my name. You understand? The Father will send in for his name. You know who he's talking about? Christ. Christ is who was sent in his name to teach us this is how you keep the law, statutes, and commandments to the letter. Just follow me and you'll be perfect. Follow me and I'm gonna show you the way. You will be righteous. Leave everything and leave everybody, and me and my Father I will see to it that my Father give it back to you 100-fold. Word. Gotta go. And follow with him. He shall teach you all things, meaning Christ will teach you all things. Christ taught all his disciples all things. How to eat properly from the book of Leviticus, how to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, not just learn them, but how to properly keep them. You understand? How to love their wife and teach their wife how to properly love them and how to love their children. You understand? And teach them how to be wives. That's what the law, statutes, and commandments do. And bring all things to your remembrance, meaning, and he will make sure you learn these in your inward parts so you will be able to always remember, even when passing down to the next generations under you, to your children, and so on and so forth. Whatsoever I have said unto you, meaning everything that I said, you will learn and you will remember and you will keep as far as these law, statutes, and commandments. And there we go. You good now, Mama? So
Nah. Hey, Salakia, sir. I was telling my rib, I was like, baby, don't I love you so much and I keep every day. Also, Ayasha said, she was like, no, the hell out of here. No, I'm calling Ayash. Hell no. I'm like, oh, good night. You want to give me a trick again?
You know,
Salakia.
I've learned to ignore both of y'all toxic behinds. That's why y'all fit for each other. Y'all don't belong with nobody else but each other. The Lord made sure y'all was for each other. And y'all keep that toxicness over there.
Yeah, man. Salakia, sir. No sweat.
Gotta get slick and say she gonna call out y'all. Nah, call the camp leader. Go bother him. If you don't want to get corrected.
She's tripling down. She's power officer Kawalga. She gonna start tripling down now.
Yeah. She don't even know. I'm a corrector just the same way. I'm gonna have a little bit more patience and mercy though, but I'm gonna say it in a way she can regularly identify.
Most on Christ, sir. Most on Christ.
Oh man. All right, I'm gonna get to my next video. We got 2 left. We got 2 left in the clip.
Let's bang these there. Let's bang them out. Let's bang them out.
Yeah.
Facts you didn't learn in school. On August 21st, 1831, Nat Turner led a rebellion alongside 70 enslaved and free black men, moving from house to house, killing white residents, and liberating enslaved people. Over the course of 3 days, they took the lives of around 60 men, women, and children before being overpowered by state militia forces. In retaliation, the militia and white mobs responded with brutal violence, killing nearly 120 black people, many of whom had no involvement in the uprising. After leading the revolt, Turner evaded capture for 6 weeks before he was eventually caught. He was tried, convicted, and executed by hanging at the age of 31. In total, 55 others were also found guilty and sentenced to death, though historians believe some of them were innocent. This event, known as the Southampton Insurrection, stands as the deadliest slave revolt in U.S. history. Black history facts you didn't learn in school.
Yeah. That was that. Now, Nat Turner, he was that dude. Nat Turner was that dude. Which one was this? Oh, yeah.
Nah, if I may, my lord, right? Nat Turner, right? He set the he set the present of what it is to, you know what I mean, really ride for your brothers, to really go out there and die for your brothers. And you know what I mean, Esau tried to kill that whole spirit. He tried to take that whole spirit away. If we would have kept that Nat Turner spirit, we would be running America right now, sir.
Absolutely. Nat Turner, our Gadite brothers and sisters, Harriet Tubman. It was another one I did in a previous history class. He was the first black mail clerk, but he used a secret route along the Underground Railroad to deliver letters, special letters to slave revolters. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, so, wait, Salakia, sir, my lord. So basically, what he was doing, right? He was So all right. So you remember the days 25 years a slave? That's what it was called, right?
You talking about 13-year slave?
Oh, 13-year slave, right?
Yeah.
So basically, he was doing stuff like that. He was making. He was looking out for brothers.
Slack, it's called 12-year slave. Slack.
12-year slave, Salakia, my lord. Yeah. So basically, my lord, he was looking out for people that was getting snatched up and stuff like that, because the brother that was in a 12-year slave, right? He was kidnapped. He was drinking with them devils, trusting them devils. Before you know it, that nigga in fucking Alabama somewhere on a slave plantation.
Yeah. Serving out under a goddamn oppressor when he was free.
Right.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. The white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of, right?
White man is the goddamn devil, right?
And
Salakia, my lord.
Damn, can I get a sentence out? Go ahead, Mama. So, go ahead.
The white man is the goddamn devil that the Bible speak of, right? I know you love them. You feel me? I got a couple of them that's dear to my heart. You know what I mean? You know, that taught me roofing and taught me how to do construction and all that other stuff. I'm gonna make sure they don't get it punished as bad in the kingdom. But the white man is the goddamn devil that the Bible speak of. Y'all listen to my Adawan, my Lord, who helped raise me up under the great officer Kawogabal. Salakia, my Lord.
You done? I can get in there? I can get it in there?
I just gave you, hey, sir, I gave you all that respect. Yo, you are, all right,
you let me the hell off from getting to the point, but no sweat. Appreciate it. Most high.
Yeah, sir.
You know, what I was basically saying was, I know you know the white man's the devil that the Bible speaks of, but you know they are very wicked in nature, and it's like if you have to be mindful, even when you interact with them, you have to be mindful when you're around them because you never know when that Esau spirit takes over them. Because at any moment, they could be cool as hell. They could be cool as hell, cooler than the other side of the pillow. Know all your favorite rap artist songs and got bars they self. And when you was in the world, y'all used to roll blunts together and yeah, like, you know what I mean? Some stuff popped off. They right there with you back to back. Like, we let's do it. You know what I'm saying? All that's well and good. But the difference between you and them is y'all can both put on a suit and walk into a building and fill out an application and both get interviewed, but he'll get hired before you, even though you got 5 years experience and he just got a high school diploma. You understand? And y'all both might get the job. He'll be put over you as your boss. That's just how life in society works. Because one, he has the complexion for the protection. And it's really nothing personal because they don't give a shit about none of us. So it's never nothing personal. It's just business. It's just white man business. And that's all it is. This is why Donald Trump gets away with what he gets away with. This ain't nothing personal. This is business. I'm a businessman. I ain't a politician. I'm not here for politics. I'm here to handle business, get rich, make the country rich, and I'm out of here. I'm off this one. And if I could start some shit, I'm going to start some shit. And that's basically how he coming and how he moving. That's how he shaking and baking. He want to shake things up. That's what he do. Now we go, before I go to my last clip, if we go to the book of James, chapter 2, verse 2. I had two, but one of them I lost it. But it was a good one too, but I don't know. I might find it again. I'll probably save it for the next history class. But it's the book of James, chapter 2, verse 2. But ye have despised the poor. Do not rich men oppress you and draw you before the judgment seats? Basically, it's saying the rich oppress the poor. They do. This is why we continue saying the white man's the devil that the Bible speaks of. Even if the white man ain't rich, in this kingdom, he's still richer than you. Why? Because you're in poverty. You're the one that has to work multiple jobs just to be broke. Because you got bills, you got kids, you got child support, you got rent, you got car note, you got gas, insurance, registration, groceries. You know what I mean? Because you working, but you're making too much to get stamps. Because you got two jobs that's making up your income, and they say with the combined income, you making too much to get stamps. And then let's say for argument's sake, you get stamps. You still making too much money. They can't give you cash assistance. Either way, you're screwed. And that's basically what it means in a nutshell. And they say, do not rich men oppress you? Hell yeah, they oppress me. Every chance they get. They don't even got to know you. That's why I said it's nothing personal. It's just business. It's just oppressive business. It's just white man business. If you ain't white, they treating you that way. That's why I'm going to make a shirt and say, make it right. Treat me like I'm white. I get pulled over by a cop, I'm going to show him the shirt. Human license registration. No. I identify as a 40-year-old white male. I'll be going about my business now. Thank you. You have a blessed evening. And roll my window up and keep going. You understand? In that instance, I identify as a white man. I'm going to see if I can get away with it. You know, because it's like if you ain't got the complexion for the protection, then you screwed. That's just basically what it means in a nutshell. And it say, and draw you before the judgment seats. They cast you in the judgment like they the most high. See, in this kingdom, they can dictate whether we live or we die. That's in the flesh. But if you don't keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, the most high can remove you from the flesh and the spirit. White man ain't got that power. The Most High do. You understand? The Most High got that power. Nobody else.
God can.
They can take
Hell of a breakdown,
in the flesh, but they can't remove our spirit. But the Most High can.
Right.
it's important to keep these
Right.
laws and commandments. Now I'm gonna go to this last article for time's sake. Don't pay attention to the messenger, just pay attention to the message.
Chimps and other apes grow hair all over their bodies. The hairiest people you've ever seen have been white people. Chimps tend to have big ears relative to their head size. The biggest ears I've ever seen on humans have been on white people. Ever hear of a lice outbreak among black children? Probably not. White children are 30 times more susceptible to lice infestation than our black children. The parasite simply likes to lay eggs in the hair of chimpanzees and white people more than on the hair of black people. Chimpanzees love to swing in trees. Apparently, so do suburban white children. They typically can't wait to build and live in a backyard treehouse. The white people clearly want to return to their fully primitive state. This would be a racist black person from the 19th century publishing, trying to find ways to enslave white people. Look how easy it is to be racist. Chimps and other apes grow hair all over their bodies. The hairiest people you've ever seen have been white people. Chimps tend to have big ears relative to their head size. The biggest ears I've ever seen on humans have been on white people. Ever hear of a lice outbreak among black children? Probably not. White children are 30 times more susceptible to lice infestation than our black children. The parasite simply likes to lay eggs in the hair of chimpanzees and white people more than on the hair of black people. Chimpanzees love to swing in trees. Apparently, so do suburban white children. They typically can't wait to build and live in a backyard treehouse. The white people clearly want to return to their fully primitive state. This would be a racist black person from the 19th century publishing, trying to find ways to enslave white people. Look how easy it is to be racist.
That's just proof of who the monkeys really are. Because if my mind served me correctly,
right,
throughout history, they used to call us monkeys. But statistics show they show more characteristics to monkeys than black people. They are more subjectable to lice like monkeys than black people are. You understand? This is why when they're out in the wilderness, things lay eggs in their scalp, like monkeys, but not black people. We don't like the wilderness. We spent 40 years in the wilderness. We don't like the wilderness. You understand? We don't like captivity. They do. They want to go back to their primitive state. They want to be in tree houses and they want to be in caves. They want to be cave dwellers. Why you think on the History Channel, 99.9% of the archaeologists that you see investing in caves and deep ditches and holes are white people? Let's call a spade a spade. I'm not being racist. I'm speaking facts. Most archaeologists are white people. A lot of people that like go cave diving and cave dwelling are white people. They're the curious ones because they want to know what's in here. Because I like this. I want to live in here.
Salacious, sir. Don't forget about the deep sea diving.
White people. And that's not racist. I'm being honest. You understand? It speaks for itself. I shouldn't have to break it down. You understand? Like I really pray y'all understand, because these are facts that I'm bringing out. This ain't my personal opinion. This is facts. Now I'm gonna bring out one last precept. If we go to the book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 8. It's a real simple precept right here, and then I'm off this. This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 8. Jesus Christ, the same yesterday and today and forever. These law, statutes, and commandments is going to be the same today as it was yesterday, and they'll be the same tomorrow, and they'll be the same forever. The Most High was the same yesterday, he's the same today, and he'll be the same forever. Keep these laws, statutes, and commandments and be part of the fold like Christ. So you could be like this yesterday, tomorrow, and forever. But forever be righteous. Strive to forever be righteous, Israel. You understand? I pray y'all understand. You know what I'm saying? And with that, Tune in next week for the next history class, but tune in. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for the brotherhood class. You understand? And with that, shalom, Israel.